Hey, I'm ElusiveKev, Mr. Cole. Welcome back to GT Sports. We've got another online race, another daily race. As we're in the Group 3 cars or the GT3 cars, and we're racing around the Autodrome Lago Maggiore GP. So, I have said that wrong, but we're starting right at the back. 17th out of 20 drivers, and we've got 10 laps to work our way up the order. Hopefully, battling for top 10, maybe even the top 5 if we have a good run through the field, which is always hit and miss in these online races. But in general, you know, that's what we've been aiming for, getting top 10s, and we're getting them as well. So let's see if we can get it in this race. We're behind an Italian kind of home turf. This is a fictional circuit, but you know, it's based around the summit or the bottom of the Alps at the Switzerland-Italy border, around a massive lake there, the largest lake in Switzerland, second largest in Italy. And this circuit's set in that region. It's a fictional circuit, and it's like a Porsche went off on the right hand side, so up to 16th. But it is a fantastic racetrack, probably my favourite in the game. And it's like the BMW's got a good run on us down the inside, as in it's like that Volkswagen's gone fishing on the outside, so we're up to 15th temporaries. Here comes the BMW pushing us onto the grass. What are you doing, mate? I'm still here. As we're heading towards perhaps the trickiest corner on the circuit, this right-hander. It's so inviting, so wide open, and you may end up like the Porsche on the inside, but you may just end up locking your brakes and going to the outside, going into no man's land on the left-hand side, which you will see in this race. As I'm going to show you all 10 laps for once in these online races, because this is so action-packed. And you can see that BMW making another move on the Volkswagen B2 in front, and now we've got this good run through these kind of S section and then onto the back straight. Well, Harry Flatters through that left and in the right. And you've got a good run on the B2. It seemed to be a bit slow. So looking down the inside in our Nissan GTR Nismo, I told you in the last GT Sport video, this is my favourite car at the moment to drive these GT3 races, and you're going to see why in this race. There's such fantastic braking from the B2 around the outside. They had the track position, they had the racing line. I was compromised, and they took full advantage of that. It's a great driving from the B2 in front, as we got a Porsche as well, 911 in 13th. But they are quite a lot of Porsches now in online, and in this, like, that was the Dodge Viper that spun. So easy to do that if you try and push it flat out through that right hand. You can clip the ball on the outside. It's so close to the track. As we make it down the inside, the B2 got held up by the Citroen 4C in front. So we're up to 13th already, and we're taking way too much curve as we head towards the final corner. And don't really know how to take this corner, as it's downhill. So you think you'll have to brake early, but it's very wide and inviting. You can get the power super early, as all the other drivers are doing it. I'm not, apparently, as we're about level with the B2 as he cross line onto the second lap in 30. Made up 4 positions, mostly from people falling off, but that's pretty good. And we've got another car falling off. It is that BMW that passed us on the first lap. They've got the Dutchman in front. Oh, it's not that BMW, it's a different BMW. It's the same paintwork, it confused me. But we just held off the B2 there. He kind of ghosted into us as well when BMW went off, and we're ghosting in the BMW, and it's like, he certainly felt that. I didn't really feel it. He did slow me down onto the back straight, but that was a bit weird. Again, from online with the ghosting, it does sometimes rear its ugly head. Why is it ghosting? It can be a bit weird at times. A bit like the penalty system, as well, as we lose a bit of SR as we tap the rear end of the BMW. Now we go into this S section, which seems to be my best section of the track, because you take this first corner in kind of third gear, and then you can just pelt it for the rest of it. You don't even need to lift, really. Maybe through this left hand if you want to really get a super run, you're kind of close behind someone. As look at this, we've got 4 cars all on top of each other. We've got like 3 BMWs pushing each other down this straight. They're going 3 wide. We've got the M6, we've got the Z4, and we're looking round the outside. Oh, let's see, can we pick a spot here? Oh, that Spaniard's left the inside line open, and we make our way through. As he was a bit cautious. I don't blame him. Into that corner with the battling going towards it. And as now we go into this last section of the lap, into this right-hander where you can go flat out, but if you do, as I said, you can clip the ball on the outside, and that's what the BMW's done. So up to 11th, and now we're almost up to where we wanted to be, on the edge of the top 10, battling in the top 10. That's where I've been consistently finishing in the top 10 in these races. So, you know, it looks like I'm on my way to getting it again, as we've got the M6 in front. We seem to be stuck behind an M6 in all of this race as we dive it down the inside, but too brave, and they do the cut back. They saw that coming a mile off. So we go on to the third lap. We've got around a second gap behind to the Z4, but we've got the M6. We're right on the tail into this first corner. Not really kind of a passing zone, really. It looks like it should be, but you have to have a super run into that corner. You have to be alongside to make a move there. You can't be like diving into it, because you can just run wide and then the other guy can just cut back on you into that tight hairpin on the right hander. But now we're looking down the inside the BMW as it looks like the C4 in front, or 4C, sorry, has gone wide, and oh, the Audi's off on the inside as well. So we are into our top 10 position, which we were aiming for. Now let's see if we can maybe get a top 5 as they're battling hard in front, looking into the right hander. That's what you can see on this track. Fantastic undulation. You can see lots. You can see far ahead of you. If you're kind of sitting back there, you can see he's battling, and it helps, you know, you prepared if you're going to catch up to that battle, where to position the car, as we're not positioning it very well into that left hander. Fantastic opportunism from the Spaniard, who seems to be lagging slightly, but we're going to be right in his tail of his Z4. And now here we go down the back straight. He's going to be defending me. You saw in the previous lap he's a bit cautious, so let's see if he's a bit cautious, if it's just a head-to-head battle instead of being like 3 or 4 wide into this right-hander. So he's got the outside line, he's got the run, and then he does back out of it. So he gives us that position, it looks like, for attempt. Doesn't want the battle too hard, as he sees there's some hard battling in front between the Frenchman and Dutchman for 8th, and as you can see for the top 5 as well. As oh, that wall's claimed another victim, another BMW as well. We might as well put a graveyard on the inside of that corner for the BMWs, which have been claimed by that wall, as we go into the right-hander. Take advantage of the 4C being kind of not slowed up, you know, slightly, you know, put off by that BMW crashing in front of him. So we're back into 8th now. And now we can maybe gain on the top 5. They're only like 2.5 seconds in front of us. As you can see, they're battling like a hell, just like they are behind in my wing mirror. I can see the 4C and the Z4 come virtually ghosting each other. And it's like, and now here comes the Z4 with maybe a dive into that first corner. Nah, he's not doing it. And he's kind of outran myself there, but we've got this tight right-hander following up, so it kind of saves you if you kind of outbrake yourself slightly into that first left-hander. But it's like they're battling hard, and it's like the 4C's got past the BMW as well behind. No, they're going side by side into the right-hander as we are gaining, not really, on the battling. It's that trio of 911s in front. Well, there's a couple of 911s at least, and then we've got a 911 in third. Then we've got a Hyundai Genesis. Not many people drive those. He's in second, and we've got the BMW Z4 in the lead as we go slightly wide through the right-hander. As I said earlier, so easy to do that. And on this 4th lap, we're going to try and settle into a rhythm here, as we are gaining slightly on the cars in front, but they have spread out a bit, so they're not fighting as hard as the 2 cars right on my tail. Especially that 4C got a superb run, headed onto this back straight into this crazy hairpin, so wide open. You can brake so deep into it, around 50-40 meters if you're brave enough, and if you don't look up, you can brake into this corner. But look at his undulation, so beautiful, and this is why it's probably my favourite circuit in the game. As all the fin is wide in front in the Porsche, but it looks like he's going to ghost back in time. So we're not going to gain a position, but we're going to right on their tail, maybe make a move into the right-hander coming up. You get a good run, not quite close enough. But we're definitely in the hunt now for at least 7th. As well, he brakes very early there. I don't know why. Maybe he had a time penalty, so he decided to brake instead of actually just letting off, which would have been perhaps riser. So that's caused him a position. When we're slowing down, letting him back through, because that's kind of our fault hitting him, even though he did got a brake checker slightly in the braking zone. But now he can just battle the 4C, they can take each other off, and I can just battle the Z4 and then go up into 7th and catch the top 5. At least that was the plan. As we go on to the 5th lap, we're halfway through this race, and it looks like the Frenchman's trying to defend from the fin, but here you can see he's going round the outside, and that's a nice move from the fin in the 911. So he's back up to 7th, and now we're right in the tail of the Frenchman. We also got the BMW right in our tail, so we're looking in front, but we've also got one eye behind, and it looks like the Frenchman just messed up that left-hander slightly, so we dive down the inside, make it up into 9th. No, he's round the outside. Great defending there, holding it round the outside. I probably should have not been that kind. Maybe should have just forced him off slightly, given the old elbows. There we go, looking down the inside into the right-handers. He's trying to give us the elbows there, trying to block us off from that apex. Yes, our SR's going down once again, but we've got door-to-door racing here, and in this site again, that Spaniard's made that move into that left-hander. As we've got compromised battling the Frenchman. Oh, and he's lost it. And then we've gone into the back of the Spaniard. And we've got a 10-second penalty. Even though there's nothing the Spaniard or myself could do with that. So I'm going to back off, let the Spaniard take the 8th position, as it would be a bit unfair trying to steal that away from when we were both victims of that Citroen making a mistake. And now here he comes. I think that's the Beetle coming by. No, it's the Z4, is it? No, it is the Beetle. And he's gone up into 8th. And now maybe can take a look down the inside the Spaniard. Not quite on this 5th lap. As now we're just battling to get 8th now. And you know, a couple of laps ago, I was going to maybe catch a top 5. You know, in 8th, but now we're just battling after the incident with the Citroen to be in the top 10. As you can see, he's following the Spaniard. The Germans are line there, trying to get the slipstream into this right hand. As you've seen, it is a bit of a passing spot if you get a good run through that fast right. And into this final corner, maybe could have a move as well, as he's right on his tail. Got over a second gap behind to a BMW M6 as well. There's loads of BMWs. You see, we have tracted them this race, as you take a little look down the inside of the Spaniard, but now he's got a great run on the Beetle, looking around the outside, and oh, that's hard defending on the German. That really is a car's whip. We go into the second half of this race, onto the 6th for that, and good defending as well. Hard but fair, I think you'll call that, as it goes slightly wide, isn't it? So into the right hand hairpin. So tough to get that right. You feel so slow and useless through that corner, but look at this from the Spaniard round the outside into the left-hander. Superb batting, and oh, to get it a bit wrong there. So now we look to the inside, maybe of the Spaniard, maybe of the German. So as here we go, making it 3 wide, are we? As they are really rubbing bodywork there, and in their sight, oh, he's outbraked himself. The Beetle, I told you, if you outbrake yourself, you're heading to no man's land. It looks like the Spaniards won this battle. We're in 9th. We have the Beetle, are we? No, we're going door to door with him as well, as we're going to back off. As I said, try and get a run through these S-bends, but oh, he's gone wide, and now has he gone wide? No, this is another Beetle, another German. It's Mad Dave has come to join the party. So he's up to 9th, we're down to 10th. And now we're going on to the back straight. I have to catch my breath slightly, because the action's gone a bit crazy again. And they also got the BMW M6 as well in the tow. And they're around a second back then. Now we're looking down the inside of Mad Dave, but he's very good breaking into this corner. Even though he's gone slightly wide, you're not going to get the cut back out of that corner, as he got a good run. Now a bit good traction. And now heading into this section at the end, where you get a good run through the right hand. They get a good run on Mad Dave into the right hander coming up. Not quite close enough to the Beetle, but we've got a couple of Beetles now. Been attracting all the German cars, haven't we? Mostly BMW, so now we've got the Volkswagens around us, as we're in a Beetle sandwich, and we've got a 2.5 second gap behind to the Beetle. Battling hard with the M6, we can just about see, you know, on the right hand side. Is going to the final corner. Still don't know how to take this corner, even though on the 6th for that. That's a bit better though. Didn't lose too much, only a couple of tenths compared to like half a second or a second like we used to. And now going into the first corner on this 7th lap, we're battling for 8th with the Spaniard and Mad Dave, and that's a mad move from him, but he doesn't quite make it work. There's no gap there, but it does force the Spaniard to run wide on the exit. So Mad Dave maybe could do what the Spaniard did on the previous lap, looking around the outside, looking to the inside. Oh, he's diving it. No, he's been very cautious though. Good respect from Mad Dave there as well, much better than his other Beetle. So now we've got a gap over 3.5 seconds behind to that Beetle, so we can just focus on this battle in front. And as I said before, you know, sometimes you can see so far in front with the battling pair, you can maybe judge where you're going to place the car. And it looks like the Spaniard's defending hard, and Mad Dave's been very respectful here. No handlebar to handlebar battling here, no door-to-door bashing, as he's gone slightly wide there through this S-bend. So now we got a good run into the last part. Let's go almost into the back of him, gave him a little friendly nudge maybe, as he got into the back straight. Let him know that we're here to battle, as our SR goes up. So maybe it wasn't a nudge then. Has now, where do we go? We're going down the inside. Mad Dave's got the outside though. As you saw previously in this race though, if you got the outside, you got the racing line, you can maybe break a bit deeper than us. So we made the move down the inside. We're up into 9th behind the BMW Z4, behind the Spaniard, who we've been attached to the hit with the whole of this race. Well, now we're about to go into round 5 or 6 of our battle, as it looks like that BMW's kind of That Beetle's going to drop back slightly through that fast right-hander. So we go into the last section of the 7th lap. And he's not quite close. So maybe setting up a move here, though, as he looks to the inside. Oh, barely a car's whip, but he sneaks the Beetle through. It is very small. It is difficult to notice sometimes, and he's managed to sneak it through. And now we're trying to do the cutback as he outbrakes himself into the final corner. So we have to run on the inside as we go on to the 8th lap of this crazy race. There's been non-stop action. Had a slight breather behind the Spaniard for around half of that, but apart from that, it's been wheel to wheel everywhere. And in its sight, the Germans held on round the outside. Good stuff from Mad Dave, but he's gone slightly wide, but we're not getting a cut back. We're finally focusing on that back straight after this right-hander. See if we can make a move on Mad Dave, get a good run into this right-hander. I always say I'm taking this a bit too cautiously in this race. Taking second gear, really pumping on the brakes, when you maybe should just roll the car towards that apex a bit better, you know, maybe second, even third gear. And then maybe make it a bit more stable as well on the run down the back straight. As here we go, out braking ourselves slightly, so does Mad Dave in front. As now we've got a gap of almost 8 seconds behind. They really are taking several bells out of each other. M6 and Beetle behind. So you can definitely focus on the pair in front. And it's like Mad Dave once again having a good run through the S's. So here we go, down the back straight once again. Replaying, it's deja vu, isn't it? And this whole race has... Let's see, he's going to defend the inside this time. So let's see if he can hold it on the inside. And it looks like the Spaniard's got the inside line as well. Don't know why. He's over a second in front of us. We've still got the Finn in 7th. And then the 911. So let's see if we've got to move around the outside. We're given the inside line. And it looks like he's still there, maybe. No, we're saying we've got the car's whip for a few tenths of a second ahead of him. And yes, we do claim back 9th place. So now can we catch the Spaniard on the penultimate lap maybe and grab the 8th places. Oh, the Beetle went wide, clipped that wall behind. He's over a second behind now, so now he can focus on the Spaniard who kicks up the dirt in our windscreen. As he knows we're there, we're putting up a smoke screen already. They're defending themselves. So going into the final corner of this 8th lap. And what a crazy circuit it is with the undulation, as I said. Beautiful landscape as well. As I said, it's kind of based around a real life location at the bottom of the Alps, and you can definitely see that with all this beautiful mountainous, you know, countryside with loads of trees. And as we go into the first corner and try and not get distracted by the surroundings as you go into the hairpin. Oh, and almost losing the back end there. That's right. That's why sometimes perhaps you should take that in second instead of first gear. Try and get the traction out the corner. Now into the right hander, or the Spaniard goes slightly wide. You saw there, taking a slightly different line. I'm trying to take the apex a bit earlier. They try to take it a bit later then, and it looks like got a slightly better run than us down this back straight. We're caning a bit because of the slipstream, but not enough to make a move into the right hand. And look at it, superbly onto the tail of the Spaniard. So if we can just have a normal run through these S-bends, we could perhaps make a move into our favourite passing spot, that hairpin. As he goes slightly wide into the left, and the Beetle behind. He's gaining slightly on us, but we're gaining on the BMW. So here we go. Take 500 or whatever of our moves into this hairpin, and then it's like he's defending the inside. I've taken the outside. I've taken that decision kind of away from the Spaniard there of where he should go. And as you can see, we've got the 911 around 7 seconds in front of us. And so we're breaking round the outside. Remember the Spaniard early in the race was a bit cautious into this corner, went side by side, and once again he is so, or she. So we're up to 8th place. There we go. Can we just drive away from the Spaniard now? Done and dusted for the final lap. Of course it isn't. Of course it isn't with this race, as you are actually gaining on the Finn as well. And we've got the Belgium in the 911. We've still got the same top three that BMW said for leading the German ahead of the Hyundai Genesis with the Italian. And then we got the 911 with the Dutchman in third. And we have got that Z4 of the Spaniard behind us, finally ahead of them after spending most of the race not glued to their backside, but looking at it. As let's see if we can get away from them then, as they got a good run out the final corner, heading on to the final lap of the race. We do our fastest at 202.8, and look at that, just less than a tenth of a second faster than our previous lap. That's good consistency, even if it's a bit slow. As you can see, a couple of seconds off the pace compared to the German, who I'm guessing is leading. So we've got that Spaniard right on our tail, so we've got to have a good run through this left-hander, then a fantastic traction out of this right-hander to trying to negate that slipstream, but we've run wide, pushing too hard. That's going to allow the Spaniard down our inside. Oh, not, he's backed out of it. That's very interesting. As now we go into the right-hander where we do outbrake ourselves though, and we're going to no man's land. I told you, you break yourself here, you're not going to a happy place. And so we're down to 10th behind Mad Dave. Maybe he can be bad on the final lap. Battle with the Spaniard and maybe he can reclaim 8th. Let's see as we go through the S's. Oh, but he's gone too crazy. Kicking up the dirt, he's slipstreaming, he's taking an unconventional line through the S-bends, and we're back up into 9th. We've got a car whip in front as well. We've got our sportsman racing down. I guess we just bashed kind of doors slightly with Mad Dave, but we're up to 9th. He won't have to run on us either, heading into the hairpin, so it should be safe. And look at what happened in front. It's like the Belgium in the 911's gone off, dropped to 7th behind the Finn, and the Finn's been a bit slow as well. So maybe the Spaniard can maybe battle for 7th in the final part of this race. So just holding off Mad Dave in the beat, and we're pushing it hard. We're going to go flat out through the right-hander, and we have been claimed by the wall. The BMW wall has claimed us, and so we're going to end up in 10th, a few seconds behind the Volkswagen Beetle, but way ahead the M6 behind us. But from, I think it was 17th on the grid, I'll take 10th. So fantastic battling. This race is really just show a bit of the craziness of GT Sport Online as well. You know, some hard racing, some clean racing as well, mostly clean racing. That's the good thing about GT Sport Online compared to most racing games with this system, with the sportsman rating, is that you do get some good, hard, clean racing, and you saw that in that race for virtually the whole of it. I hope you enjoyed over 20 minutes of it as well, as even Mad Dave had a penalty but still stayed in front of us. So, as you can see behind the top 3, you also had the Lancia, and then ran out the top 5, you had the German. But I hope you enjoyed that frantic GT Sport race. I'll be back with hopefully something which is a bit less intense for my vocal cords next time out. So thanks for watching, and I will see you then.